And there was one story where a father messaged me and he was quite concerned. I heard you've been lifting cars. Are you actually stealing cars? No, I'm actually lifting cars, not stealing them. I'm Nikki. I'm a 44-year-old strong woman from Hull. I started playing rugby for local Hull's ladies rugby team, Hull Wyke, which was when I sustained quite a bad injury and was advised I might never walk again or play competitive sport again, do anything really. And it affected me quite badly in a sort of mental space rather than physical space. Just even being in a wheelchair and having to get the kids to school and things like that. It really, really was quite humbling. And I'd always taken them to the park or done rock climbing with them and things like that. And I thought, I don't want to stop doing that. I need to keep active for them. Then thought, right, I'm going to try a strongman event, which was in Sheffield back in February 23. And just not looked back since. Absolutely loved it. And I was probably competing every month. Got myself a coach, nutritionist, and then finally made it to the Worlds back in December last year.
220.
Does the 10 aside then?
Yeah.
My name's Holly Ford. I'm an open weight strong woman, second strongest woman in England. When I had my children, I kind of came to this stopgap of doing anything. Whilst we were in lockdown, me and my dad were virtually watching World's Strongest Man, and I just passively said, oh, I'd love to try that, because I didn't think it was something that women could do. I didn't think it was, I didn't think there was anything for women to do within strongman. Hence the name, Strongman. But for whatever reason, the algorithm on YouTube suggested that I watched Ultimate Strong Woman, England's Strongest Woman. And I watched the rerun of it and I was like, oh my God, this is something for women. And I started from there.
Yeah.
Genuinely think that if I hadn't have had my son, if I hadn't have been sat there watching, World's Strongest Man reruns with my dad via Zoom, I wouldn't be here.
Hiya, I'm Melody, a mum of 4 and I'm 36. I started where I was getting married, everything was all prepared, and then we went into lockdown and we had to postpone his wedding, and I got depressed because I work in respiratory as well at the hospital, so we were the COVID ward. So all my family were panicking, thinking, they don't want me to work. And my fiance at the time was saying he'll work every day if I don't go to work because he just wanted me to be safe. I ended up really poorly with depression, and I was off work for 6 months, and I put on loads of weight. And then when it was time to start getting ready to prepare the wedding again, my dress was too tight. I had 2 choices: have my dress let out or sort myself out. So I went to the gym. When I got there, I remember trying to put the pin in and my hands were shaking and I was thinking, oh God, oh God. Before I joined, I thought I was joining to lose weight, but it's so much more than that. It's just changed everything so much, my whole life. Now, I'll have a bad day where before it'd be a bad week, turn into a month.
So my name's Claire, Claire Matthews, and I'm a life coach in Otley, and I'm also a mum that does working out regular at the gym. I think it started with being looking for something else to go towards to support my mental health. I was struggling a lot with anxiety and depression, and I needed something else really. So one day I just joined. And then I started to see a change and feel a change. It's not always easy, because my son's got autism and he's very full on. So I know that any time I want to go to the gym, my husband has to have Jake, my boy. So I feel really bad actually for that. So what I do is I get up really early in the morning so that while they're both sleeping and creep out. That's how much I love the gym. I will creep out. And my husband, we've talked about it, and he knows that like the gym is a part of my mental health, like my keeping me sane, keeping me focused and happy and balanced and level and productive and happy and being able to be the best me I can be.
I could have the best day out with my children, and then the next day I couldn't get out of bed. To everybody else I wouldn't have noticed because I am quite a bubbly person, but on the days that I was like struggling, it was awful. I'd just be in bed and couldn't even bother. I'd only get out of bed to nip to the toilet and get back in, and it's not good for your children, but it's not good for you as a person. You can't live like that. I never thought that I would find anything. I thought, this is just me. I'll have me ups and me downs, and this is just going to be me now.
What is manly nowadays? We continuously compare ourselves to a beauty standard of what was okay. That's not okay. We're not all like that. You know, I can't fit in a size 8. I've never been able to be a size 8. I tried for years to be that tiny. I can't do that. You know, I've always had shoulders, I've always had traps. Does that make me manly? No. I'm still a woman, I'm still feminine, I still, you know, I have, when I wear makeup, I get all glammed up, I still like dress as a woman, there is no difference there. It's just that here, it's, you know, this is me. And sort of stripping yourself back to that point of just being comfortable, just being like, hair in a big ponytail, looking a bit of a mess, sweating and screaming and shouting with a bunch of lads is okay. You know, I've got a daughter and she loves it because even now, and I know that we have so many amazing role models in sport and just in society for women, she still thinks, I have to be petite, I have to do this, I have to be like that because of what she sees in the media. And she's 6. So when she comes here and she sees all different body types and all different shapes and women doing everything from every walk of life, it is that little moment of, yeah, I can do that, and yeah, it's okay for me to do that.
I'll sort of go back into my earlier life a little bit. I was quite poorly with anorexia when I started high school, and I believe it wasn't the want to be thin, it was just I thought to be thinner I could go faster. And then it spiralled mentally to the point that I was I was hospitalised very, very poorly. And I just want to show younger girls, sort of my girls as well, that to be in sport or to succeed, you don't have to look a certain way. I've had to put quite a bit of weight on to do this, and I'm okay with it because it's made me stronger, and I really want to stipulate how important that is, because things like Instagram and TikTok and everything just show unrealistic versions of people, and I don't want my daughters to go through what I did. And knowing that these girls are noticing that it's not a girl with big lips and big boobs that's inspiring them, it's somebody that's a sportswoman.
We're at a really difficult time right now, especially with social media. The way that image is just, it bombards you every second of the day. You just look through Instagram or Facebook or wherever, and there's all this idea of perfection, and it does have an impact, and it is quite scary because it's making them feel insecure, and I think that actually we don't need to feel that way, and it's okay with accepting our bodies just the way we are. Now, when I had started the gym and I was happy with the results, I started to get like a bit of a six-pack going on, and I was really proud of that. And I had a bit of not a pot belly, but a bit of it, untoned belly before, and I did a before and after, and I posted it, and actually I was quite shocked at the negative feedback I got. Quite a few male people on there saying, actually, I don't like a woman, I don't think it looks attractive for a woman to have a muscular body, especially not a six-pack, and it just made me really confused that, because I thought, well, actually, I'm not really doing it to be attractive for you. You know, I'm doing it because I enjoy doing it and I love doing it. And I'm really proud to feel that I was able to attain that and get that six-pack going. And it wasn't so that I wasn't looking for someone to say, oh, you're really attractive, Claire. That's not what I was going for. It was more like, well done for trying.
I think I'm stronger because of my children, because as much as I hate to say this, my daughter gets really, really upset when I don't bring shiny things home when I compete. I've watched quite a few people battling some very, very challenging things, both mental health and physical health, and I think that just has given me the sort of like context and sort of realisation of whatever I do to myself today in that training session will never be as much as what they're going through or have gone through. Women everywhere continuously put pressure on yourself. We're pressured to, progress, we're pressured to have children, we're pressured to get a degree, we're pressured to, be a certain way, look a certain way and everything else. And I was pressurising myself to progress within a sport that didn't need me to progress. The only times I've ever thought about quitting is when my mental health has been really poor. Last year I had a really, really bad bout of it, and it was purely depression. It was just really bad anxiety. I was so burnt out from everything that I was doing, and I sunk into this really bad moment of depression. I lost my dad, and I was providing him with his palliative care before he passed away. Outwardly, when I was at home, I was a mess, understandably. I had cared for my dad, I had just done England's Strongest Woman. It was really weird because I could actually physically see the decline, like in how I was, and I knew what it was instantly. I knew that it was depression, I knew that it was something that I just had to work through. So yeah, this is my not therapy, I won't call it therapy, but it's like my recovery.
I've realised now that the gym is part of, it has to be part of my life to keep, that's what I do, that's my me bit. And I think all women need a me bit, especially mothers, because it's like all about the kids, it's all about your husband, it's all about everything else that's not you. And you do lose you when you become a parent. It's all about your child, and it's hard to think that you're important, but if you don't look after you, how do you look after everyone around you?
As much as I love it, I do get imposter syndrome quite a lot. I think going to Wales was when I thought that the most. And I almost thought that I wasn't good enough to the point that I didn't want to go. Getting out there was just seeing my idols, women that you sort of looked up to are in front of you and talking to you. It was quite humbling. I didn't score on the first day, which I think a couple of years ago would have really, really upset me. I'd like to still compete when I'm 50. That's the oldest age group there is, the over 50s. The weights go down a little bit then, so I'm looking forward to that. I think I can do quite well. Did I just say that? Yeah. I think I can do quite well. So.
It is all about my mindset and my mental health now. Like, I've found my thing for me. Like mums who feel like they've lost themselves and they're never going to feel great again, because I'm proof that it really does help, and I want to help other women feel like I do.
I was inspired by a girl at the gym that had actually done the same process, and at that point I was like, wow, maybe it is something that I could try this, you know. I think I might have had 3 or 4 months prior to competition to stepping on stage. It was a little bit of a challenge, But the physical side of it, I didn't find that challenging. It was more the mental side of it. And for me, the biggest hurdle was going to be the day when I step out on that stage in a bikini. That was going to be the hardest part, being very vulnerable on stage. I think having had like body dysmorphia in the past and still to some extent now is still there, it does stay with you slightly, but I do think that this has helped show me that it's just put a new perspective on the whole thing, to say, you know, it's just a bikini, it's okay, you know, it's not the end of the world, and I did everything on my terms. You know, this was me deciding to go up there and be almost naked on a stage in front of people because I chose to do that, and nobody's told me to do that. And the fact that I knew that I was the one in control and I'd made those decisions was empowering for me. I think I was taking back the reins, I was taking back control, and I was like, instead of avoiding my body and being something that I felt was disgusting and I couldn't bear to look at, I wanted to, like you say, build that relationship with my own body again, and reconnect with me and accept me, not as a separate, dissociated part of me, but be associated and be a part of my own body, and go, this is what you've got, Claire, this is it, that's what you've got, just deal with it, you know, accept it.
Oh.
Blowing it away from you anyway. There you go.
What?
Yeah.
So weird.